Fight fans, welcome back to Croakers MMA. Got a very special guest today, one of the newest signed UFC fighters making his debut next weekend. UFC Houston taking on Jacobe Smith. He is Mr. Josiah Harrell. Josiah, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. What a crazy 24, 48 hours it's been for you.
Yeah.
Short notice opportunity, making the UFC debut, man. What was the feeling like when you got that phone call?
It's so weird. It feels like it's happened before. So I was just they really, I didn't even get an option. Coach was like, Matt said yes. I said okay, and he said, "Can you make weight?" I said okay, and that was the call. So it was Matt knows I'm down, and I trust those guys more than I trust myself a lot of times, and I know that my ego wasn't a part of this, so it was a pretty easy decision on our end. So just listening to coach, having faith in what I'm doing and what we're doing over here, and then just having a good time is all we plan to do.
Absolutely. You know, some people may know you got that call from the UFC a couple of years ago. We're supposed to fight Jack Della Maddalena. Medical results revealed some stuff. What was that time like, man? What was that whole experience like for you?
Yeah, they were trying to say I had like brain herpes or something like that. So it was a little confusing at the time, but it took a little bit. It took longer than I thought. I realized how long it took me to process things. So a lot of like the first 3 months, I was still like, okay, like I guess it doesn't matter. And then after that, big dump in like what's going on and where my life's gonna head and all that, and that's wherever we end up getting so close to the Lord. But yeah, it's Moy disease, a little small brain disease. We got over it. We did everything we needed to do to get back, and here we are.
You know, so many people are watching mixed martial arts in this day and age. I think it's as big as a time it has been forever for the sport right now. Very few people understand the life of a fighter. Some people look at the big names to see the fame, the glory, the fortune of it. When you're battling it on the regional scene, you're not making Conor McGregor money, right?
No.
You're staying up late, you're waking up early, you sacrifice everything just maybe for the opportunity to get there. You've been doing this for a long time, man.
Yeah.
You've at the biggest show in the world now, but what's made you not want to give up?
I'm just hard-headed. I decided that I wanted to do this, and it's as simple as that. Once I decide I want to do something, I'm not gonna give up on it. I don't know if you ever heard, but during after my brain surgery, the first 2 weeks we ended up having 2 seizures via me working out. So the first, like, it was probably 2 days after my brain surgery. I'm hiking, trying to get my heart rate up. Started getting woozy, so then we had to chill out a little bit, and then whenever I got home, so that whole week I just focused on walking. I was like, I realized that my heart rate couldn't really, my head really couldn't take the blood flow because they weren't connected yet. And then after I get home, I'm like, okay, I should be good. I chilled for 2 days, 3 days. And so we started hitting pads and immediately went, it was good in the moment, but as soon as I got home, I started feeling weird and eventually had a seizure, didn't know what it was. So then I ended up chilling again, going to the golf course, and then on the golf course, I ended up having a seizure. My uncle Sonny, I was pissed off at him, but he seen me have the seizure, and he was like, "They're on their way," and I'm like, "Who's on their way?" Because apparently he was talking to me while I was having it, and I don't know if he knows, but I don't even think most people know what's going on when they're having seizures. At least he didn't stick his fingers in my mouth. But either way, they got me to the hospital, and I was just upset for the next 48 hours, having to deal with doctors and all that. So it was no fun on that part.
Absolutely. You know, I already alluded you trained with the immortal Mr. Matt Brown.
Yes.
How did you find him? How did that relationship start?
Dave Freetag, my coach at Grove City, was one of Matt's first coaches.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so we're all connected. So yeah, so Dave doesn't get the glory he deserves, but he knows what he's doing.
Absolutely, man. The last time out, fought an LFA, big fight earlier in the year. You took on Dasmatov. Huge one going in there, able to take him out that third round. Overall, what did you think of that contest? Looking back at it, what did you make of the performance?
Started slow, so I don't like how slow we started. I don't like how we allowed him to get to his game right away. We got excited because we hit him hard and kind of just let him get to the hips. And even though he didn't really do any damage, it did irritate me how we couldn't make that picture perfect. Still, the plan went as good as it could have. We got to show off a couple of our skills. We got to get in there, hit him with a couple of elbows, show some clinches. Our clinch game off a little bit, but we still have a lot of things we need to work on. Biggest thing is we made it out alive, and he is luckily safe as well. So we got to compete, we got to push ourselves. Everything else is just up to the Lord.
You know, in my opinion, you're one of the most fun guys to watch on the regional scene the past couple of years. You're always going in there looking for the finish, man. Everything you do, it's going forward. Either it's choking the guy out, looking with the hands, trying to take out your opponent as quick as possible. For you, how much pride do you take in that fighting style?
Pride, none. I'm not allowed to have that. If I start having my pride come up, you'll see me with hookers and cocaine. So no more pride for me. I got a lot of praying, a lot of the Lord. I need Jesus. That's pretty much it. So it does come up every now and then. I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect. I am absolutely far from it. But I try to stay away from anything that feeds the ego, just because of how easy I give into that stuff. It's one of my worst sins. So I try to stay away from it. So I don't take pride into it, but I don't see any sense of going into a fight just wanting to win. Like, winning's not good enough for me. I'm going in there to dominate. So I won't say that it's a part of my pride. That even itself can be a part of the pride. But I try not to go in there and just focus on getting a finish. It's more like, okay, what's the point of just scraping out a win? What's the point of barely getting by? That's not a lifestyle I want to live, and that's not something that I live by in the cage.
Do you feel that fighting is more mental than it is physical?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're gonna get to any point where they start mixing. You walk long enough, it's gonna start irritating you and your body, and the aches you get in your shins and ankles. Like, it doesn't matter. You start pushing yourself enough in anything that you do, it becomes not only physical but also mental. And on the same side, if you focus on something that's so mental, as in teaching all day, like, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel exhausted. So at some point they both cross over, and I think that fighting is just one of the easiest ways you can see it.
Absolutely. You know, during your time on the regional scene, you've had a lot of different promotions, obviously CFFC, LFA. You've done a lot of fights locally in Ohio. For you, did that mean a lot to be able to compete in that area where you're from?
It's just nice that I was able to compete in Ohio as long as possible, especially coming back. Like, a lot of people didn't even want me, didn't want to take a chance. So it just shows how good Ohio Combat League's been to me, because they're one of the first people like, we'll figure it out. We're gonna be able to talk to commission, and they were. So without them, I'm not sure if I even be back on track where I belong. So I'm just grateful for them and everything they've done for me. And at this point, all I can do is just keep my eyes forward and try not to think about the past too much.
You know, one thing I love about martial arts is the disciplines, it's the values associated with it. I have so many guys tell me on this show, before MMA, they're going on a bad path. MMA provided structure, guidance, turned them who they are today. For you, how have you grown and evolved from your time in the sport?
I'm just everywhere. So I would say I got more mature, but realistically, my path's been up and down. Even while I was doing MMA, the fact that people think that just because you start something that you're very passionate about, that life's good, it's true, but also it's not true. Like, you're gonna have your moments, you're gonna have your times where you just don't feel like you're in the right place or whatever, and that's natural for anything that you do. And for me, I've done probably worse things while I'm chasing this dream of mine than I have outside of it. The biggest thing is I didn't let that disparity or just the hopelessness catch up to me. It was more of a just keep heading and keep believing. And it wasn't until I found Jesus that I was like, okay, this is something that I want more than anything.
You know, for you, what's the ultimate goal? What are you looking to accomplish out of this?
Ultimate goal is just to become my best version. And if for me right now, I'm picturing that with two belts going at 55, 70. But it's not to prove anybody wrong. It's not to prove anybody right. It's not to show what I'm capable of other than to myself. It's really just to see what type of man I am. When it comes to pushing yourself and fighting, it speaks a lot of who you are. You can't go in there and be a liar and expect to fight like a brute. Those guys usually are feinting a lot, trying to be a lot more tricky. I almost had a freaking seizure right there. Or if you're more of a brute, it's not something that you can go in there and try to be an Adesanya and try to get this guy to fade into your striking zone so he can get out and get in and get out. It's just, there's a lot of things that mix and match with our personalities when we fight that you can't hide. And it allows you to realize a lot about yourself. So if you're a pussy, you got to realize that, okay, cool, I don't like to go to deep waters. what can we do to make sure that I have my conditioning up the whole time? Or vice versa, if you're okay and you know that you're a dog when you get into the deep waters, okay, how do I bring this guy into it? How do we get to the point where we make this sloppy? How do we, like Justin Gaethje and Patty, like that's two guys where I think Patty should have tried to make that a cleaner fight and get in there, shoot in a lot, try to get Gaethje tired instead of going in there and trying to stand up with him. It just doesn't work out. Either way, fighting, people have the personalities, and it shows who you are when you're in there, and that's who I want to make sure I'm fighting for. The person that is going through pain, the person that is not knowing where everything's going. You're not gonna, the whole time you're fighting, you're not gonna have a perfect mindset or a perfect game plan of what's going on. So there's going to be a lot of complications and a lot of problems that are going on, but I want to be the person that tries to solve them, not the person that tries to give up, or not the person that tries to find a way around this stuff. I'm going, no, I'm here. We're here. Let's solve it, instead of giving up on myself, instead of trying to blame anybody other than myself. So it's more about me finding who I am as a man, pushing that person, and then becoming the best version of myself, whether that's mentally, physically, or spiritually.
How does it feel knowing that your story of overcoming obstacles, pursuing your dreams, that story is going to help others and push them to get there as well?
Oh, yeah, that shit makes me emotional. People reaching out, just telling me how inspirational it is. It's just like, I don't think about it that way. But it is something that makes me smile, makes me happy on the inside. Mostly the little kid in me that felt hopelessness at one point, and I'm able to at least inspire these kids enough to where they don't feel hopelessness. I had this cat from Korea reach out to me. Him and his little sister have Muay disease, and he wants to be an MMA fighter. And he said that I inspired him to pursue that in some sort of way. And it's nice to hear and know that I have some sort of impact.
So a week from today, you're taking on Jacobe Smith. Where were you when you got this phone call?
I was teaching a seminar at Madison Plains High School. So I was teaching some little guys how to wrestle, and we're doing a lot of wrestling, a lot of cardio, having them run around. And someone's like, "Is your phone ringing?" I'm like, I don't know. It's so loud in there. I'm not even paying attention. I usually have my Apple Watch on so I can see what's going on, but I didn't have it on. I had all my jewelry off. So I go over there, run over there, check my phone. I'm like, "Okay, what's up? Hey, can you make, or where's your weight at?" I go, "Okay." And then he goes, "Can you make weight?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Cool, because Matt said you can." I go, "Okay." And he goes, "You go," and then it was pretty much just a 5-minute conversation of that. And then after that, we had, like, "Hey, should I call a different time?" I go, "No, it's fine." But yeah, I was at Madison Plains, just trying to get back where I can, and trying to help the little ones.
So you're taking on Jacobe, obviously another guy, big name in that division, a lot of hype around him. But overall, what do you think of him as an opponent?
I think he's explosive. I think he has really good wrestling. I think he's more dangerous in the first than he is in the third, where I think I'm the opposite. So I think that somebody's getting finished. If he can catch me, fine. If not, fucking good luck. So nothing against him. I think his grappling's good. I don't know where his jiu-jitsu's at, but obviously his wrestling's very good. His striking seems like he has some good boxing range. I haven't seen much of his kicks, but we'll see. I know I'm well-rounded, very well-rounded. So I'm okay with wherever we go. And if he wants to make this a high-paced grappling match, we can do that. I have full confidence that I can get back up to my feet no matter who takes me down. So I'm okay wherever it goes, but I do plan on finishing this fight.
Even before you were offered this, did his name go through your head? Do you have a feeling maybe at some point, whether it be now, near future, it could be a matchup?
I think I was watching him against was it Nika?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was watching him earlier in the year, and I was like, okay, that's somebody that I could see myself fighting. Just because he's explosive, he's good. He's obviously going to be I think he's going to end up climbing his way up to the ranks, especially as he gets more experience. But everybody in this division, especially 70s. I mean, it's getting scary. It's probably one of the scariest divisions there is. So there's really no easy fights. And I don't think I ever expected to have an easy fight. I think I want to push myself. And if anyone that knows me knows that's true. I just want to see what type of man I am. And the easiest way to do that is to push yourself.
With a big win over Jacobe, does that really catapult you in this 170 division?
We might end up speed running this bitch. So it would be insane if we got to face Islam before we retired. But I just don't see it happening. It's just he got maybe 1-2 more fights. I think he's pretty much done. So unless we do something just sporadic and fight next week as well, so it's just our week after that. So it's there. I do think that we'll end up speed running, but if they give me time, more than a couple weeks, realistically, if they give me 3 months, we can make 55. So it's more of like where they want me. I think 55 is a easier division. Not only that, I think we can climb up the ranks pretty fast there. So even if we got here 70, beat Jacobe, unless they want us to fill in at 70, I think we drop 55, give some contenders at 55, give Ilya some problems, give Armin some problems, maybe Patty if he's going to stay there. I think that's what we do. We shake up the world and then possibly go down to 55 and just let the 70ers know, like after we win this belt at 55, we're going to come back up and we're going to just dodge all the crud that's over there, take the belt, and then most likely bounce.
Is it pretty cool for you to make your debut in an arena like this? 20,000 plus people going to go absolutely insane?
Yeah, I mean, anyone that says no is probably just lying. I just try not to think about it too much. Like I said, I have problems with pride. So whenever I start getting into those mindsets of, oh, how cool is this going to be? Or look how dope I look. It's somewhere where I try to just ask the Lord to help me with discovering or figuring out where my heart's supposed to be at this point. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be a great experience. I think that's the most important part about it. But it's just another location that I'm fighting in. Like the octagon doesn't change much. So I don't think about how big the stands are, how many fans are going to be in there. My people are going to be in there. That's all I care about.
You know, so many people are watching this day and age, and I think for the most part, casual fans understand you're trying to get in the UFC, trying to win bigger fights, win belts, more money, all that stuff. Very few people, in my opinion, understand the fight outside the fight. And to me, that's that fight not to have to clock in at 9 o'clock in the morning, clock out at 5 p.m. That's that fight to secure financial freedom. That's that fight to live life on your terms, not follow societal norms, make what you want, create a message, create a fan base, and live life to the fullest. For you, has this been a big part of the journey?
Yeah, it is. I've been living, I won't say financially free because I just don't care about most things, but I don't have a girl. I don't care about going anywhere. All I do is train. That's it. Sometimes I hang out with my friends if they're in and I don't have a fight camp going on. But even then, a lot of times I'm not as social as most people ought to be. And it gets to me every now and then, but I mean, I pretty much, this is all I do anyway. So I don't work. I'm at the gym or I'm here playing the video game or playing Magic. It's just, I have my coping mechanisms and I have fighting. That's pretty much all I have, and the Lord. And the Lord's going to end up taking my coping mechanisms away, hopefully, very soon. So I don't have to deal with those. But that's it. So I've been pursuing this for a long time, just focused on fighting. And this just now gives me an extra layer and allows me to start understanding that I can build a family off of it. Like I'm not going to pursue a family if I can't afford them. So it just allows me to start trying to think about that. But the likelihood of me even considering that while I'm chasing something like this is very low anyway. So if anything, my sons, my daughters don't have to worry about food. So that's going to be nice. Other than that, it doesn't change much for me.
You know, following the first time in the call in 2023, after that, with everything that went down, was there any doubt that you would ever make it back?
There was. I mean, anybody that says no is just, you go through brain surgery, you freaking wake up from a 9-hour surgery and everything hurts and you're confused and you go from hundreds of messages a day to 2 and you start to think about different things. And the biggest thing is if you're trying to focus on like, how am I going to do this? It's going to be very hard for you to do anything. And you realize that we as humans don't really have control over much. Like, even if we're thinking about this as a power system, it's like the government, somebody controls that, and then the government controls us. It's just, we have very limited rules we can live by. We have free will, quote unquote, but there's not much we can do to impact what's going on. If the commissions at Ohio is like, nope, you're not fighting, there's nothing we can do. So then it really didn't come down to me at all. The only thing I could do is just go, I'm going to pursue this. If it doesn't work out, it's not going to be because I quit. So many things in my life have stopped working, or I've blamed it on not working because I've quit. And the thing is I'm just not doing that anymore. I'm not becoming a quitter. I don't want to be known as a quitter. And that was the biggest thing in my mind. It's just like, okay, if I'm not going to do this, it's not going to be because of me. It's going to be because of the Lord. And if that's what he decides, then that's what he decides. If not, then I'm going to keep pursuing this no matter what happens to me.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up here, I want to get some predictions from you on some of these big UFC fights coming up. So in addition to you fighting that night, obviously that main event's a big one. You got Sean Strickland, you got Fluffy Hernandez. Who wins that?
It's hard to. It's not hard. I think Fluffy's going to win. I think that there's two ways it can go. If somehow Sean can get Fluffy pissed off enough for Fluffy just try to stand with him, fine. But Fluffy mixes up well. He's great gas tank. Like his gas tank's stupid, especially for that division. So I think that Sean can get tired. I think that Sean has good wrestling though, so it would be a good matchup. I just think that the gas tank of Fluffy is going to wear him down, and eventually he's going to end up getting him on the ground. But between Strickland saying that he could beat Cosma, and I mean those are the two guys that I'm thinking that give Khamzat a good shot. If Strickland has the confidence to go, cool, I can give him a problem. He might be the only one in the division. You go, okay, cool. Then how good is his wrestling actually? And then Fluffy's just good everywhere. Obviously, good cardio, good wrestling. But for me, I like Fluffy a little bit more. Nothing against Strickland. I think he's a good dude. I think that he's misunderstood a lot of times, but realistically, he's straight and narrow. So it's just he's blunt is as it goes. But I'd give it to Fluffy.
Following week they're over in Mexico. You got Lonnie Kavanaugh stepping up for a big fight here against Brandon Moreno. Who wins that one?
Brandon Moreno hasn't been in for a minute, has he? So he's been off. So I don't know how that's going to affect, but that also could have gave him the time he needed to work on some tools. It just depends on what he was doing in the offseason. I really don't watch fighting as much as I should, but I'm going to have to give it to the other guy. I don't know who, not Brandon. Yeah.
All right. The last one, you got big BMF title here, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. Who wins that?
See, these guys I do know. These are the GOATs. It's hard. They both got put out recently, but Max showed that he still has his chin. I don't know if Oliveira still has it. I don't think he has the chin anymore. And I think that as long as Max doesn't try to get into, I mean, he can get on top of his guard. I don't know how good. I know his jiu-jitsu is fantastic, but when you're stunned, it's hard to know what's going on. I'm gonna have to give it to Max. I think that Oliveira's chin's just not there. I seen him train a little bit ago for just standing in the pocket, which is not what you want to do with Max. It depends. It doesn't depend. Obviously everything depends on circumstance, but I'm gonna give it to Max. I love them both. I think that these guys, I don't think anybody wants to see him go. That's why I didn't bring it up. I would hate to fight him. I would be so sad. I would be so sad.
Do you get motivation when you're watching some of these big fights, or you're training with some big names in the UFC? Does that inspire you at all?
Whenever I see something special, it inspires me. So it doesn't have to be like a big fight, but if I see somebody, just whether their defense looks good, whether it's boxing, wrestling, whatever it is, like even gymnastics, like if I see something special, that inspires me. Like the guy that did the ice skate and backflip ended up losing, but that's still, it's so those moments like that where it's like, okay, he let the moment get to him. Fine. That happens to the best of us. But you're 17 and you're doing something that no one's ever done. That stuff inspires me. It doesn't matter what sport it is. But just to say like, okay, this guy's technically, most people have this opinion of him. Now he's special. It doesn't ring any bells for me. You're going to have to prove or show me something special for me to believe in it. But it doesn't matter what sport it's from. If they do something special, I'm over here cheering them on.
Absolutely. All right, Josiah, last question for you, my friend. In a perfect world, what is the outcome next Saturday, February 21st, when you make your UFC debut at Houston Fight Night UFC against Jacobe Smith?
I'd say we have some fun, get to get some experience under the big lights. So I think it goes first round, second round, let's say get the finish in the third.
Absolutely. Well, Josiah, man, thank you so much for taking the time out of the day. I know we're really close to the fight, but thank you so much, and congratulations and good luck to you, my friend.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. That's it for us, Stamp Carl Parisa. He is Mr. Josiah Harrell. You can watch him. Take it out, Jacobe Smith. 1 week from today, Houston, Don't want to miss it, fight fans. Take care.